Hello, and thank you for joining me. Today we are going to be looking over the markets and looking at our bigger time frame zones. Let's start off with crude today. Looking at crude, we can see price looks like it's really responding to this aqua zone here for the money bounce. Have a nice little shooting star candle there. So it looks like we're going to be coming back down here to the lower zones for a retest of the consolidation area as well as the zone down below it. So that's kind of what I'm looking at as far as crude goes. For ES, looking at it on the 240-minute level, um, we can see that we've had a real nice retest of this top area up here, and it looks like it's coming back down to this newly formed aqua zone right there, and we should be seeing some type of response off of that level, and wouldn't be surprised to see it go back and forth here for a little bit, possibly continuing on in the uptrend if this market continues to go higher. On that note, we can actually look over here on our freestockcharts.com, and you can see that we are in blue skies as far as how far we are going up here. Um, if we look at a measured move, this was the move from 2009 up to 2010. If we basically just copy and paste that little line there, we get this little line here, and that extends all the way up to 1731, which we're getting pretty close to. So I think it's very possible that we could see continuation of the up move. Looking over at the euro, we can see this kind of stuff going on. I feel like we had a real nice retest of a demand zone here from not too long ago. If we look at when this was actually formed, it was formed back on 4/4 of so roughly about 2 months ago is what we're looking at, and we can see the nice little pop to the upside, and pretty much a bounce off this aqua zone here is just a tick or two too low, but still what I would consider a bounce right here. And then I would think that we're gonna come back down here and get a nice little bounce off of this aqua area, this new aqua zone that was formed below here. So that's kind of what it's looking like with me. You can see how price action has really spent a long time just kind of hovering right around the bottom part of that 4 hour zone there. If we zoom out a little bit and we look at it on a big weekly time frame, we can see a little bit different picture where it looks like we got a nice little bounce off the weekly zone there, and off of a major weekly zone down below us, and we're coming up, and looks like we're going to be turning around, and possibly this is like a little retracement type of trade right in here, which means that the upside is a good possibility, you know. But how deep is this retracement going to be beforehand? And now that's something that the weekly chart really can't tell us, you know. That's very possible that it could come back down here to 29.43. But we will just have to wait and see on this particular one. So that is kind of what we see on the euro. Now let's head over to the Russell 2000 futures. So looking at another one of those index pairs. If we look at it on the big monthly and weekly levels, we are in blue skies, sailing way above there. You know, you see the Russell respecting a few different zones down here, and you know the zones work very well on the Russell, but you know we're kind of in blue skies because the Russell has never been this high. So looking at this, we can see the first money bounce right here on the Russell, and it looks like it should be coming down to this area of consolidation. So right around the 95, or excuse me, 985.6 level. I would anticipate price coming down here and getting a money bounce off of this area as well. So over the course of this week, I wouldn't be surprised to see that move continue on there. Looking at the corn futures, just for kind of a change of pace and getting into agriculture a little bit, um, we can see that prices are really locked in this little range right here, and has just been kind of stuttering around there, which I feel like it's still going to break to the upside here. Looking at the bigger time frames, I believe we can see some nice support after following our blog and stuff like that on the Apazones website. There's some real nice level up here in the 700s off of the bigger time frames, so we want to keep that in mind. And that looks something like this here, you know. So we can see that we've filled this gap over here on our right hand side here, and just really came up close to it. So if we can actually, it looks like we need to go a little bit higher than that, but if we can get into there, and really pick up some momentum, I think we could easily hit the 705 level on the daily chart and go up from there. So, but it's really close to filling the gap. I would say that this came really close here. So I think it's possible that little resistance area from the gap could easily fail, and we could come back up here to the 716, 705 level where the point of that origin has taken, or point of that move of origin has taken place right there. So looking at the Nasdaq on the 4-hour chart, you can see that we are bouncing in between the zones. We have demand down here that's been retested several times based on the color of these zones, and it's moved all the way back up there to supply. And it looks like we're getting our money bounce on the supply, so this zone should soon turn blue and retest this level right in here, right around the 3,000 point. So that's kind of what we're looking at right here on the NQ. And of course, the NQ is making new highs uh, and has some room to grow on the normal weekly levels. You can see that this thing has really found some decent resistance or supply in this level, but has peaked that level on the weekly charts and on the monthly charts. And we could be looking at another measured move, kind of like on the ES, looking at that measured move from that low of 2009 to 2010. Same type of deal on the NASDAQ, markets, the indexes kind of moving together. So we could definitely see something like that happen on the NASDAQ. So I think that pretty much covers our week forecast as far as what big time frame zones and levels to be watching out for. As always, stay tuned to the Apazones website. We are trying to always uh, create new content and keep everybody aware of major moves as well as our thoughts on price action and on support and resistance, supply and demand. Please feel free to check out our blog as well as many other of the pages and things at the Apazones website. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll do this again next week.